So we're here at Postcard for another 1 Minute Budapest interview with Denae. She'll be here shortly. Anybody here who has not been to Postcard is definitely worth a visit for a beer, open mic, I believe Wednesday nights. Yeah, I think open mics are on Wednesday nights, and yeah, it's a cool little dive. I should do a video separately just on Postcard, which is spare key. Welcome to 1 Minute Budapest. So how did you end up here in Budapest?
Thank you very much. So I actually just celebrated my 4-year anniversary here in Budapest. Just crazy to think. And coming here all started out like a postcard. You know, I saw Parliament. I had no idea about Hungary or about Budapest, but I just saw that building and I thought I had to come here. And when
so you were traveling around Europe, and then you decided.
Or even before I came over to Europe,
oh,
yeah,
really?
you know,
Okay.
like post-college, Euro trip. And I had a friend here from college who was teaching English. I'd never even known this was an option, which is I'm so passionate about telling other young Americans about teaching English abroad because it's such a, you know, an open door. So I came, my friend showed me this magical weekend, you know, Budapest in the summertime, ruined bars, and Margaret Island, and Fruit by the river. It stuck in my mind, so that a year later, I applied to teach English here myself and got a job and took off from there.
Okay. And so, correct me if I'm wrong, it was a kindergarten that you were teaching?
Yeah, exactly. So I came through a program. I never wanted to be a teacher. I hadn't put a lot of thought into it, which again is where a lot of privilege comes from, having an American passport and a neutral accent. You know, you can just rock up and just get a paying job and get your apartment paid for. So I'm very aware of that. But I started at a kindergarten, had wonderful kids and teachers, but eventually I just knew that it wasn't what I wanted for the rest of my life, and transitioned into working freelance. So now I have my own English business, I teach privates, and I also do social media copywriting for a local tourism company. So I'm proud of where I've come. Yeah.
Right on. So 4 years here in Budapest. And so now you're a freelancer here in Budapest, and you have a blog. You want to tell me a little bit about that? Or like, how did that get started?
I think, like a lot of people blogging now, you just start without...
You're a digital nomad, is what you're saying.
I would like to think so. That is the long-term goal. I don't believe in 5-year plans, but if I had one, that would be it, to be totally location independent. But yeah, I had trouble deciding my audience, but now I think the blog is really for new expats in Budapest, people who are, you know, just coming here and they want to find their footing. It's supposed to be everything I wish I had when I moved here first. You know, I didn't even know how to grocery shop properly. I didn't know, you know, public transportation. So it's just about enjoying Budapest, finding your footing here, and then a little bit of travel on the side when, you know, COVID permitting.
Right, right. Now, where else other than Budapest have you traveled prior to?
Quite a bit. I was able to study abroad during college twice. So I've been around mainly in Europe. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of expats will tell you studying abroad versus traveling is a lot different than living somewhere and dealing with the cycle of shedding your old life. So it's still an adventure.
Right, nice. What was your experience like to become self-employed here in Hungary? Was that a big learning curve for you here?
You put it really well, exactly. A huge learning curve. Where to start? So I don't know where any of you are in your expat journey, but if you come over as a third country citizen, so not part of the EU, like an American, for example, and you get a working visa, as I did working with the school, then your rights are tied to that business. Yeah. So I wanted to leave the kindergarten. I had to find a new visa. I wanted more freedom. So a lot of it went into research, a lot of Facebook groups. I'm not gonna lie, I cried a lot because because there's so little information out there about this process in English. I had Hungarian friends, my Hungarian boyfriend researched it, that was my saving grace, but all the information is in Hungarian. So it was a lot of misses, a lot of wasted trips to the immigration office, a lot of paperwork that had to be redone, but it really spurred me on. Now I have my visa, so that's why one of the parts of my blog that I'm proudest about is this whole section on going freelance in Budapest, because I just wanted to write down every mistake I made, every barrier I came up against, to help people trying to transition into a freelance job here. So I think my pain can serve a greater purpose, and I have the visa now, and it's much better coming out on the other side.
Yeah, well, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
a lot
God.
of blood, sweat, and tears. But,
thank you. Exactly.
A lot of expats go through a tough time.
If it's not freelance, it's something else.
Yes.
Just visas in general.
Now you're also a singer. Is that correct?
I enjoy singing. When I first moved here, the open mic community was my biggest, champion. I love them. I would recommend that for anyone who's new here. Just a lot of international, open-minded, fun-loving peeps. But now recently, I've started, oh man, more dreams are coming. I've started taking jazz lessons. I'm working on putting together a jazz review. So I'm trying really hard to just do best by that. I'm excited.
So you find there are a lot of opportunities for you here in Budapest?
I don't know if I've broken into anything, but there's definitely the camaraderie that comes with being around other expats.
Yes. I always say expect the unexpected here. Who you're going to meet, who you're going to connect with. A lot of networking goes on around here.
I wish I knew how. I'm such a dunce when it comes to that kind of thing.
No, it will happen. It will happen for sure. You put yourself in the right places, and definitely, if you like, for example, you like to sing, so you find musicians all over the place looking for a singer. They're looking for opportunity.
If they're looking, here I am. Come and find me. There's no place to hide within the light. And Budapest, there's so many film productions that happen here as well.
Exactly. Yeah. That's definitely true, because Budapest is like the Hollywood of Europe.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot of production companies coming from Los Angeles to Budapest, and because of the costs and whatnot. And I already know there's quite a few expats here who are extras, who are acting. I see that they're having a lot of fun.
The city isn't as cutthroat. I mean, in any respect, and maybe it would be different if you were a local here, or maybe it's just the idea of feeling like you're in a fresh place, away from your hometown, away from the community that expects you to be a certain way.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's actually one of my most popular blogs or articles is how to be an extra in Budapest, because I'm from Washington, so close-ish to Los Angeles, and I thought it was so opaque getting into the movie business. But here, I was so surprised. There are a lot of casting agencies. All you have to do is register on Facebook, and I thought, why isn't anyone putting this information out there? I would have drooled over that my first week. Maybe just that it's hard to decide. I don't know what other, I feel like a lot of expats go through this, but hard to decide when it really becomes real life for you, or when it's just nation, where you're going back to your real life back home. But once it can happen gradually, where you wake up and you look around and you say, I can't imagine changing my address again. This is it for me.
I always ask everybody that I interview, any tips or advice that you would give to somebody who wants to relocate here?
Definitely save your money before you come. Save up. And find your thing that takes you out of the expat bubble, because once you can find a place for yourself in the city that doesn't depend on you know, the comfortable community, that's when you can really feel proud of yourself and really feel like you've made it your own and really feel like it's your home. So yeah, find whether that's like aerial fitness or going to the skate park or going to Toastmasters, whatever. Find your own thing outside of the expat bubble and just see how proud you are of yourself.
Yeah. Okay, great.
I just want to say I love Hungary. I'm so grateful to this country for having me. I love it here. You should come.
Great, okay. And is your Hungarian any good? Are you still working on it?
Still working on it.
I think a lot of people are, including myself.
Yeah.
You got a long ways to go.
It's a mountain. But the important thing is that you try. It's the least we can do to be polite. But I can say köszönöm szépen.
Thank you very much. Köszönöm szépen.